Hey everybody, Fran here from Rams Elite Fitness, and we're going to do a quick Q&A section. I reached out to some of you guys again on Facebook and social media the other day, and I got a couple good questions in that I'm going to get to real quickly. First question comes from Nikki Brown, who asks, I have a quick question about water. Some of us absolutely cannot stand drinking water by itself. Are there any other alternatives to avoid drinking massive calories all day, but still have a beverage with some taste? Now, obviously, in a perfect vacuum, I would love for clients and people out there to just drink water. I recommend having some sort of water bottle with you or container with water with you at all times throughout the day. That way, when you finish it, you immediately get up and refill it. That way to keep yourself hydrated throughout the day. Now, I understand some people who just can't, who don't like the taste of water, or it's just too, plain for them, and that's fine. There's got to be, I can't just make you guys drink that then, right? We have to find a solution that works for you. So what I recommend is actually two things you can look into. Number one is called Mio. It's a little plastic container with a squeeze of flavor. You just pretty much just like drops into your water, or squeeze a little bit into your water, and it'll give your water flavor. It's calorie free. That way, you can give yourself some little bit of taste in there. They got some pretty good flavors. And then the other option is Crystal Light. Now, my brother, growing up, was a type 1 diabetic, which means his pancreas doesn't work at all. So we had to stop drinking Huggies, if you guys remember those, and then soda all the time because they're high in sugar. So we would make pitchers of Crystal Light for some flavored, beverage besides just having water. Essentially, they're calorie free. They come in like to-go packages where you can just take one and stick it in your purse, and then rip it open and throw it in your bottle of water or your container, and then just shake it up, and it's going to taste like flavored water as well. And that is also calorie free. And then another positive of both of those is they're both going to fit in your purse, so they're not like you're carrying around this big container of flavor all day. All right. Let's go to question number 2 because we've got 3 total to get to today. Number 2 is, what's the 411 on Chipotle nutrition? I eat it about once a week, and that can't be good, right? So I actually just did a little bit of research for myself into Chipotle, and I don't like to throw blanket statements around. Too many people do that in the fitness industry, and it's incorrect in my opinion. You can't just say, oh, it's a restaurant, so it's automatically bad. And because at the end of the day, it comes down to your choices that you're making at that restaurant. The establishment offers food, and you can either get this or not get that. Chipotle, if you're getting any sort of burrito, you're going to be in trouble because they're 300 calories just for the tortilla shell. And then, if you add sour cream or cheese, guacamole, your calories are through the roof to begin with. I made a very generic burrito with just the burrito, some grilled chicken, and then brown rice, and then vegetables, which are pretty much calorie free, and it was like 700 calories. So if you're looking for a fat loss diet and you're going to Chipotle and getting burritos, you're probably undermining your gains there because you're killing yourself with your calorie content. Same with the tacos. Again, the shells are empty carbs that you don't really need to be having. So if you go to Chipotle on a regular basis and there's just no way around it, I'd recommend a burrito bowl or a salad. I put one of those together real quick. It's the same sort of thing. You get to go through the line, pick out your ingredients. And if you want a burrito bowl, it's a burrito without the shell. So you save yourself 300 calories. So they can come out to about 400 calories if you pick good choices. Grilled meat. Stay off the cheese, stay off the sour cream. You can get a little bit of guacamole. That's fine. It's going to be your healthy avocado, mainly comprised of that, so that's a fat source. And if you can keep it there, you're looking at a good fat and protein meal. That's going to get you about 350, 400 calories. So it can be done. Just depends upon you and your choices. And then last question I have is to get to today comes down to an issue that I think a lot of people have, and that's being busy. All right. I am in nursing school full-time, work 2 jobs, so eating healthy and having time to exercise is really hard. What are your recommendations for healthy ways, for quick lunches or dinners, and exercises that last maybe 30 minutes to an hour that are beneficial to staying in shape and maybe toning and building muscle? So let's tackle the first issue first, which is the exercise. That's always should be the number one focus of any sort of training program, is getting the right sort of exercise in. So if you only have 30 minutes, then I have to recommend you go with some sort of interval training with higher intensities. Now, if you have time to go to the gym, you can do with weights. You can alternate. When I have my clients do sometimes, if they're looking for fat loss and to tone up, to build a little bit of lean muscle, is to lift weights and alternate instead of resting. Perform some sort of cardio. You can do burpees run in place, jumping jacks, any sort of cardio that you can do in between your lifting. So if let's say you were doing 3 sets of an exercise, you do 1 set, then you do some cardio for about a minute or 30 seconds, or whatever you have time for. Then go back to your second set. And this way, it's going to keep your heart rate elevated for your entire workout. That way, a half-hour workout is going to yield you good results in terms of calories being burned, your heart rate, your average heart rate, etc. Now, you can even do a sprint workout where you're going to alternate between sprinting and jogging. Anything it's got to be higher intensity. You just can't go for a normal jog for a half hour. That's not going to do it for you. And then you can't just go in there and lift weights for a half hour. You'll have like 3 exercises, and that's it. So those aren't beneficial. I would recommend combining the two. If you want more information on that, simply private message me or email me, and I can try to point you in the right direction there. And then the second issue is nutrition. That's the number one issue I have with my clients is they have busy lives. They've got kids, they got to get off to school, they go to work, maybe some people have class at night. Whatever it is, it always feels like there's not enough time in the day to have a good diet. And it comes down to preparation. Okay, I do it myself. My schedule right now, I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and sometimes I'm out training till 11 at night. So, if I can do it, people can do it. It just takes a big time effort and a coordinated attack to accomplish it. What I recommend doing is get up in the morning and list. If you're up at 4:30, let's just use me as an example. If you're up at 4:30 in the morning, you're going to map out every 3 hours until you go to bed. Just map out the time. So for me, I would put like 4:30, 7:30, 11, 2, 5, and then 8 or something like that. And it's just a rough estimate. It doesn't need to be exact, but an idea of when you want to eat. Because the first step of my nutrition program is to get your meal frequency to that level. They're smaller meals, but they're all so often. Not just because, and it doesn't have anything to do with really increasing your calorie burn or anything like that. It doesn't really help fat loss, but it's to keep you full throughout the day and not be starving into waiting 4 hours to your next meal. That's never a good state to be in. On top of your body, then it starts to break down muscle, and you want to avoid that. So you map out those times, so it gives you a rough idea of when you need to eat. Now the next thing you need to do is just go through your mind and kind of have a rough estimate or a rough guess of what you want to eat at each of those times. Something real small. You always want to combine a protein with either a carb or a fat. So my clients have that shopping, if they ask me, I have a shopping list that I can give them as like a cheat sheet, and it's listed by protein, carb, and fat. You simply pick one off of each list and make that a meal. So you would go a protein, then you pick one under the carb list and make that a meal. So you get something like a protein shake and a handful of nuts, or a protein shake and a banana. That counts as one of your meals, so that time slot's finished. You kind of just do that throughout the day until you fill up your day with meals, essentially. Another thing you want to do is prepare in advance. So if you know you're going to be out and about all week, you have a crazy week, Sunday or Saturday, bake a whole bunch of chicken, cook up a whole bunch of rice, or some avocados or something, and put them in Tupperware containers that you can stick in the fridge. That way they're easy, pretty much to-go containers, where all you have to do then is pull out a container out of the fridge, stick it in your backpack, or stick it in your purse, take it to work with you, and your meal's already done. It's a healthy meal that's made. So if you guys want more details on anything we talked about here today, just by all means, private message me or text me if you have my number, and I'll be happy to help all you guys out there with your goals. Until then, keep it easy, guys. Make sure you guys are back in the gym, still working hard, and that you keep your nutrition on point. You got to have both to really succeed, and I wish you get nothing but the best.